People would count how many times I sneezed. And I would feel like I was going to pass out because I could not come up for air to breathe. But these are the 2 herbs I recommend. Now, what are the 4 steps for healing in the order when somebody's sick? What did we say the 4 steps were? What is it? Ascertain the cause. Okay. What was the next one? Unhealthful conditions.
Change unhealthful.
Okay, change unhealthful conditions. This is for change in nursing. Wrong habits to be corrected. Now, what's a wrong habit? What's one I always use an example of? Do you know not speaking, projecting your voice? If the person at the back of that wall cannot hear me, that's a wrong habit. We're supposed to project our voice. We're supposed to use the abdominal muscles when we sing. We're not supposed to stand like this. We're supposed to stand like this because posture has a lot to do with your immune system. So wrong habits corrected. Then nature is to be assisted. This is where your herbs. See, a lot of times we skip to number 4. Now, if it's an emergency and they're having a sneezing attack, by all means, give them this.
Yeah.
But you don't want, just like we're not supposed to use medication to mask the symptoms, we don't want the herbs to do the same thing either. We don't want to be slaves to herbs. I don't want to have to buy herbs every week for the same problem. I want to get rid of the problem. Are you guys understanding? What else? Let's think of a couple more remedies. 1 or 2 more. Then we'll close it up.
What about when you get a cut?
Okay, very good. Thank you, brother. That's an emergency.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll do cut. We'll do someone is shot. Does that happen in California?
Yes.
Someone is stabbed. Does that happen in California? Yes. Okay. What should we carry around for this? Cayenne pepper. How many heat units?
90,000.
Do you know if you pack cayenne pepper into a shot victim or a stab victim, you can save their life? It starts the platelet to the clotting factor. It helps the clotting factor immediately to prevent them from bleeding to death. And of course, apply pressure, put the cayenne and then pack it, and hold it until the ambulance or someone comes. You could save their life. Wow. And if they're able to, you can even have them drink a little bit.
Do they call it hemorrhaging when they do that?
No, hemorrhaging is when you're internally bleeding, like if you just gave birth to a woman and something inside burst open and you're bleeding. Cayenne will also stop that. Another thing for hemorrhaging is golden seal. Have them drink golden seal. But for a cut, cayenne will stop a cut. And some people think it burns. To me, it doesn't. And if, you know how sometimes you have those cuts, they just won't stop and the blood is just spurting? Pack it with cayenne. It literally stops the bleeding, and you can save somebody's life.
Charcoal does too.
What'd you say?
Charcoal does too.
Charcoal what?
Charcoal, if you pack the cut.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I did not
I cut
know
my
that.
legs the other day and I packed it.
I did not know that. Thank you for telling us that. She said activated charcoal will help.
What about lemon juice?
For a cut?
Does that sting?
That's going to sting. I don't know if I'd put that on the cut. I don't want to put insult on top of injury. Let's do one other remedy. What else can you guys think of? Anything?
I have a friend who has a problem with
Oh, dizzy, fainting?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like, is she anemic?
I don't know.
Okay. If you get figs, dates, first of all, Sister Weiss says people are weak and passing out because they're not getting the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. They're not getting the oxygen. They're not getting the sunshine. They're not getting the water. The laws of health, violation. But figs, dates, raisins, apricots, soak all of these in grape juice. Welch's is fine. It's pure grape juice. Grape juice. Leave it overnight on the counter and then refrigerate it. Have her eat, and several, you were gonna have to pour some of the juice out to fit this in the bottle, but have her eat these soaked in this grape juice, have her drink the juice. That will bring up her red blood cell count, that will give her energy. So weakness, we are told, is because we don't follow the laws of health. If we go to the lifestyle assessment form that's on the website, go through it, do your self-assessment, and I guarantee you, did we all have a lot of check marks when we did our own assessment?
Yes.
We did. We realized we're violating a lot of things.
Good question, what would you do, like, let's say, if you damage your ear and you lose your hearing? Is there like a natural remedy to it?
I don't know. Some things are permanent.
That's permanent? Or-
Yeah, so, I mean, if you lose your hearing, there are herbs that can increase your hearing, but if once you damage that eardrum, you know, some things, if you get your leg cut off, your leg is amputated, you know what I mean? There are going to be maimed people. We read about the paralytic. Some paralyzed, the Bible said they're going to raise up when Jesus comes and they'll never be paralyzed again. Not all people are going to be healed. 9 out of 10. Because many people find Christ in their sickness. And if they were to go back to health, Sister White says they would go back to their old ways and be lost. So anything else? Any question, any remedy you can think of? Speak now.
Okay, hypertension.
Oh, we forgot hypertension. If somebody has high blood pressure, and this will be our last one, and it's really high, what class members, what should blood pressure be?
130,
134 over 80.
130 below?
It used to be 120 over 80. They just decreased it to 115 over 75. This is now considered pre-hypertensive. They're just learning this. This just came out maybe a month or 2 months ago. I just heard Dr., I think it was Neil Nedley mention this. 130 over 85 and above is considered hypertensive. When I became a nurse 10 years ago, it was 140 over 90. It's getting lower and lower and lower. Now, if somebody has a really high blood pressure, there are several things, there's a couple things you can do. The first thing you can do, you okay, sweetie? The first thing you could do is get a garlic clove. Peel the garlic clove. This is going to sound bizarre to some people, but it works wonders. Peel the clove. You don't really want to smash it too much. You want to keep it intact. Peel the clove. And then get a knife, a sharp knife. And down here where the pointy part is, and I would cut this little sharp thing because you want the allicin to come out. So down here where the pointy part is, you want to put like an X. Score an X with a knife. So you would do like, it would be a smaller knife, but you would just score an X on here. And then what you do is you lubricate it and you insert it in your rectum. That will bring the blood pressure down. Yes, the allicin will go directly into the bloodstream. Is garlic good for high blood pressure?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they will eventually evacuate this. And what happens, the reason you score it is it will help the allicin go through the bloodstream and it will also expand. Yes?
The best thing for high blood pressure is 4 ounces of pomegranate juice in the morning for breakfast.
Okay, 4 ounces pomegranate juice, but let me tell you what else. 4 ounces of pomegranate, but let me tell you what works even greater, quicker. And this is, the medical field is saying this. This is being recognized in the medical field. 16 ounces, does anyone in my class remember?
Oh, yeah.
You want them to drink this in 30 minutes. That's very pungent, very strong. But if they can't tolerate it, if they're getting nauseated or headache or feel like they're having a bout of number 3, then have them drink it in 45 minutes. but no later than 45 minutes. This will bring the blood pressure down, and medical science is confirming this. Doctors are now recommending this. Do you guys know that show Doctors that comes on every weekday at 11 o'clock on Channel 9? I love that show because they talk about a lot of stuff that we know as remedies. They do add yoga and stuff, and when they start talking about that, I turn the channel. But I've heard a lot of wonderful things. They recommend this, and these are regular MDs. And they're starting to implement herbs and natural remedies in this stuff. So, see, Satan's taken our health message. And what did Sister White say? Oh, in that movie, that documentary, Forks Over Knives, they pushed back the release date. It's not March 11th, it's May 6th now because so many other cities wanted to come to their town. But what did Sister White say was going to go right with the temperance movement? The National Sunday Law. So when you hear the health and everybody's becoming vegetarians, that sounds really good, but the Sunday Law is right there with it. But this is, by people like Oprah, God is using Oprah. Even though she's doing what she's doing, He'll use the wicked people. Oprah's reaching millions of homes where you and I cannot reach. She's talking about vegetarianism and becoming a vegan. Now it's easy for us to go door to door and talk to them about this. Oh yeah, Oprah said that, Dr. Oz said that, and now they're listening to us where they wouldn't listen before. So God will use the wicked. Sometimes, we've seen in the Bible, He's used the wicked sometimes to do His work. Not saying that they're doing right. We know the things that certain of these TV people do is wrong. But don't condemn them for doing the health message. They're making it easier for us. Because before where you had 10 doors closed on you, 9 out of 10 doors closed, you're having now 9 out of 10 doors open. Yes, sister.
Because God knows that some people won't even receive the message of health unless they hear it from TV.
That's
Like
right.
my mother, I've said many things about health from her, and I guess by hearing it on TV, it repeated and enlarged itself in her mind, and she's like, all of a sudden, oh, like it was the first time she ever heard it, you know, and the bell finally went off.
Right.
And so I recognized that a long time ago. There's a class of people that are stuck in the TV, and TV is not evil, the invention isn't evil.
Right.
It's what people do with it.
Right.
So just as though Satan can use it, God can use it too. for
That's
good.
right. Amen. Now, do you guys remember this morning's children's story?
Yes.
Where did the man who was a Syrian, where did he have to go to be healed?
To the prophet.
He had to go to Israel. Who gave him the health message? The prophet of the Lord. The world may have a partial health message, but they don't have the whole message. People will become vegetarians, but they're still going to be sick, even though they're plant-based eaters, because they're eating vinegar, they're eating pepper, they're mixing fruit and vegetables, they're not exercising, they're not getting sunshine, they're not drinking water. So we have the complete message.
But just as though I was saying, I shared it.
Amen.
Okay, who knows of the prophet,
Amen.
and then she being stuck in the TV. And I believe God has a member, a representative of Israel in every family.
Amen.
And they're not listening to us,
Right.
but they go to that TV and they say, wait a minute, I heard that somewhere before.
Well, you know why? Because we're also told a prophet is not accepted in his own land. Our family members won't listen to us, but some stranger will come along and tell my family members the same thing I said, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I've been telling you this for years." But the prophet Elijah was not a family member of the captain of Syria, of
But
Naaman.
strangely enough, if you just keep living it and doing what God tells you, sooner or later they do begin to listen. Maybe they might not even grab it all. Who's to say? I don't know. But little for my mother, I'm not going to go by my experience. Little by little, she's been accepting. And like I said, she's off all her medication for high blood
Amen.
pressure,
Amen.
for diabetes. And, you know, just taking one pill now. And every now and then she'll say, like yesterday, she said, oh, I'm having acid reflux or was something that she said at the table. I ate some chips. Because she's on a vegetarian diet.
Okay.
You can't go back to those things
That's
that you
right.
once ate. Because you're going to have a reaction.
That's
and she
right.
was saying, I can't drink coffee or cocoa or something anymore. It's like, you know, I have like acid reflux or high
Right.
blood pressure or something happens to her where she feels dizzy or whatever.
Right.
And then I said, Mom, you can't use those things. She said, maybe I should go to the doctor and get some more of that medication that can